Hello, hello. Welcome to my first ever live astro weather check. I am Ursula Duffy coming at you here on StreamYard through YouTube and Facebook, and I'll do some other posts and shares when I'm done. So, what I'm doing today, I'm changing up things a little bit. For anybody that's listening or tuning in that doesn't know, I have a podcast called Becoming Chiron, the Key to Unlocking Healing and Personal Alchemy. And it is now in its third season. The first season I started back in April of 2022, and season one is pretty much a variety of topics and personal shares of my life and my story, and having Chiron in the first house of my natal chart. And the second season is Chiron through the houses. So we learn about Chiron through the houses in particular, but also what each house of the astrology chart means, 1 through 12. We covered all that content in season 2. And we're now in season 3, which I'm doing Chiron through the signs. So we're covering Chiron and the signs in particular, but also just the vibe of every zodiac sign. So it was interesting, back in Libra season, we synced up with the zodiac season that we were in. So the Chiron content matched the season of the sun. So I think that moving forward with season 3, I'd like to stick with that format. So what I do at the beginning of every episode is what I call my astro weather check. And I've been releasing the podcast episodes with every new moon and every full moon. And now that's going to be shifting a little bit. I think I'm going to try and do these astro weather checks, which I didn't want to forego. I like doing them twice a month around the new moon and the full moon. So we'll be doing the astro weather checks either live here, or I'll just upload a video. And then I'll be releasing the episodes, the full Becoming Chiron episodes with the full moons, which will be in that zodiac season. So the next one will be Sagittarius season, Chiron and Sagittarius, and we'll do that one just ahead of the Gemini full moon, Sun in Sagittarius, Moon in Gemini, which will be on November 27th. So just a little explanation of what I'm doing here and how I'm shifting things a little bit and kind of ripping off another Band-Aid doing this live. So I will also release this as a podcast episode in the podcast library. And I think on Spotify, I can actually do it as a video. So I'm going to try that too. And just, it's 11/11, a new moon is coming. So why not start something new? And for everyone joining live, hi. Thank you for being here. I'm not doing readings today. We'll be back doing readings with the whole team on Tuesday for Tuesday's live at 11:30 a.m. here Eastern time. So I'm just going to do the astro weather check today for the Scorpio new moon, which is coming on Monday morning. And we'll just touch on the cosmic vibe right now. I'll cover a couple of other things. I have a oracle card that I want to share, and then we'll wrap it up. It'll just be short and sweet today. So we're in Scorpio season still, and we have a new moon coming up on Monday at 4:38 a.m. here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I hit record and went live today, 11/11 at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll have the new moon soon. And this new moon is a very interesting setup. We have a lot of things kind of clicking into place that are kind of rare and don't happen frequently. And hi, Lexi. Hi, everyone that's joined. Hi, Beth. Hi, Denise. Hi, Honora. Thanks for coming on. So we'll have the sun and the moon and the planet Mars all in Scorpio. The new moon will be at 20 degrees. And just at this moment in time when the new moon's happening, it's pretty much exactly opposite the planet Uranus in the sign of Taurus. So this is going to light up the Taurus-Scorpio axis, the zodiac axis. They're opposite each other. And when we have Uranus involved with anything, there's always some kind of surprising energy. It's like lightning. It's related to the Greek god Prometheus, and it's very much about rebellion and things that are new and revolution and all those themes. And we have it opposite not just the sun and the moon with this new moon, but Mars. And those are the two planets that are very much known for explosive energy. Mars is our path forward, it's our drive, it's action, it relates to our solar plexus chakra. So whenever these two planets come in contact, whether it be together or in opposition, like we'll have with the new moon, expect surprises. But there's a couple other layers with this because right now Mars has been traveling very close to the sun. And when that happens, when a planet's within 10 degrees or less near the sun, it's invisible. So Mars is the traditional ruler of the sign of Scorpio. So Mars is the ruler of this new moon, but it's invisible. So whenever we have a planet invisible or what's known as under the beams, the energy is sort of a little bit hidden. And with Scorpio in general, we're talking about things that are hidden. We're talking about the unseen realms. We're talking about our senses beyond the traditional five. So the action involved with this new moon energy might be a little bit delayed. We have a new Mars cycle beginning next week on the 18th. So actually in a week. And that only happens every 2 years. The last new Mars cycle began in Libra, I believe, in October of 21. So there's a lot of new energy infused in the new moon in particular. It's always, lunar cycles in general, the way that I work with them, I kind of look at the long game 6 months from now. And we're closing out eclipse season now with this new moon. So lots of new energy and opportunity to go really deep. Scorpio in general asks of us to alchemize our emotions. And through that process of bringing things to the surface and then transmuting them into something new, honoring whatever needs to die off for that process to happen, honoring the transformation that comes with that process. So with all the planets sort of on the one side and then the heavy hitter Uranus on the other, there's a lot of potential energy involved with this new moon. We can start doing our ceremonies again. I always recommend kind of holding off on those things during eclipse seasons just because they're portals and we don't really want to call anything in that's coming through with that time of the eclipse window anyway. So eclipse season will be behind us. We can start doing our new moon ceremonies. So really dig deep with this new moon. If you know where it's happening in your chart, if you know where your Scorpio part is, then there's lots of opportunity to infuse something new, something different, bring in something courageous, something you've never done before, kind of like what I'm doing here. I can use myself as an example. And pull that into whatever you set your intentions to do for the next 6 months. Bring that wily new energy into your new moon ceremony is what I recommend. And how can you feel more deeply? We're kind of taught in our society just to push our emotions down. And then a lot of times when you do that, or if that's, your go-to way to deal, it kind of comes up in not necessarily the most healthy way. So knowing that there's already explosive energy involved with this new moon, knowing that we've been in Scorpio season now for almost a full month. Actually, so the sun will move into Sag, I think, on the 22nd of November. Let me check that. Yeah. So we still have some time. And knowing that the new moon is also kind of coming ahead of the new Mars cycle, really, really take the opportunity to spend a little bit more time than you might usually with your intention setting, with your soul searching, with whatever shadow work may have been coming up during the eclipse season, because we're still integrating all of that as well. I think pretty much like all of October was eclipse season. And I talk about that in the previous episodes. Actually, the last episode was all about Scorpio and Chiron and Scorpio. So you can find the podcast on our YouTube channel and on any of your favorite podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, Audible/Amazon, and a couple of the other ones I think it's on. So you can go back and listen to the Scorpio episode, which was the most recent one. I think it was episode 32, and get a good idea of Scorpio, what Scorpio means, and how to work with that energy in general. So pretty much I like to pick taglines for the new moons and the full moons. And what I picked for this one was pretty much alchemize your emotions, honor the death process, honor whatever's been coming up around this energy. We're in that balsamic phase now where the moon's not even visible. The moon actually just shifted into Scorpio today. So it's a time of deep rest and reflection before the moon is visible again when it's new, when it's that waxing crescent. So that is the invitation with all of the planetary energies involved with the new moon. Like I said, that's coming early on Monday morning. And then just some other shifts, like the personal planets are on the move. We had Venus shift into Libra back on the 8th. Mercury just shifted into Sagittarius yesterday on the 10th. And then, like I said, we'll have the new Mars cycle start on the 18th. The sun will shift into Sagittarius on the 22nd. And then, yeah. And then we'll have Mars shift into Sagittarius on the 24th. So Mars will start growing in the morning sky once it becomes visible again. And then we'll have the Gemini full moon, and we'll do another Becoming Chiron episode just ahead of that. That's on the 27th. So lots of shifting energies now. We're kind of coming off of where things were really stagnant throughout the summer. Venus in Libra is a much different vibe than it was during eclipse season when it was in Virgo. So now we're shifting into a place where Venus is at home. Mars is at home in Scorpio. The only one not at home right now is Mercury in Sagittarius, which is opposite Gemini. So it's a little bit more layers to Mercury's functioning in that sign. It's kind of can be like a foot and mouth vibe, like truth, like word vomit, like taking a line from the Mean Girls movie. So just be careful with your words, especially with the explosive energies that we have going with the opposition between the sun and Uranus, the moon and Uranus, and Mars and Uranus. So remember, take a breath, respond rather than react, take a beat, and we'll actually be closing out 2023 with a fourth Mercury retrograde. So Mercury is sort of growing now in the evening sky on its way to the next retrograde, which will be in December. And I'll cover that in the next podcast episode or two. So that is our cosmic vibe at the moment. Things are moving forward. Like I said, we're coming out of that eclipse season, that deep immersion that we were in that entire time. If you'd want to share, I'd welcome comments on your eclipse season experience. But it's definitely been an interesting one, to say the least, for pretty much all of October. And yeah, so, okay. This deck that I pulled for today, whenever I'm discussing Uranian energy, Aquarius energy, I love using this deck. Sacred Rebels by Alana Fairchild. Guidance for living a unique and authentic life. So the card that I'm going to read from today, I think, encapsulates the energy really well. And I've pulled this twice now for clients in the last couple of weeks. So I felt like maybe it's another message that needs to come through for the energy of this new moon also. So it is card number 6, Shock of the New. Pretty appropriate. And the card is just super beautiful. It has, for anyone not listening, for anyone that can't see the video, that's listening that can't see the video, it's a beautiful, beautiful image of a woman, and her hair is all sunflowers, piano keys, and speakers. And there's a beautiful sacred geometry, light, some kind of symbol on her throat. And the background is just all this beautiful like sound waves and kind of like what you would imagine as far as like the flower of life vibe and that kind of thing. And I think that this speaks to us in a really unique way as far as using our voice, maybe in a different way. And whatever comes to light after this moon is new, whatever surprises or hidden energies or truths or delayed action or reaction to whatever's been coming up for the last month or so at this point, to process it, integrate it. And there's definitely a healing element involved in all of this. And maybe use your voice or your words in a different way. So I'll read from the book for this one. These descriptions are beautiful. And since I can't post pictures on all the platforms, we'll just capture it here in audio. What wild, unconventional voice is calling to you? Can you hear it? Is it so different and so unusual, it might be hard to decipher? Like hearing an unfamiliar language for the first time. It might be hard to discern with great clarity now, but there is an affinity between you and this strangely beautiful newness seeking to manifest. This oracle says there is a stirring at the deepest level within you. Something new will break through, and the process of this birth may be a shock to you. This shock will transform into great joy and a sense of tremendous liberation. But you must bear the strangeness first. That strangeness might be something that rattles your beliefs about yourself and your world, daring you to become more of yourself, more open to where life is leading you, and more willing to be the unique, sacred art being crafted by the hand of the universal creator. Nature never shies away from strange beauty. She allows for endless diversity, and her sacred works are often peculiar and stunning. You live within her field of creative grace as a specially created work that also creates. You are being asked to surrender any fear you may have of being seen as exotic, unusual, eccentric, or bizarre. You are being asked to make peace with strange beauty and to let it happen through you in creative flow. Perhaps you need to allow your conventional ideas of beauty to become even more inspired and open. Perhaps you can allow your need for the world to behave according to your fixed ideas to fall away. You will receive so much more in its place. This oracle comes with a special message for you. There are rumblings and stirrings of the creative life force happening now, deep in the undercurrents of your being. If you are very attuned or sensitive, you may have consciously felt this already with excitement, discomfort, or both. If you have not yet sensed these inner stirrings, they are happening all the same. So be on the lookout for the big shift of new birth, the shock of the new, the unconventional, the strangely beautiful, and the disturbing liberation of that which is foreign stepping into your life. This is life creating the stage upon which you will experience greater fulfillment. Don't be nervous if the rumble of change turns into a mighty roar that rocks boats, bursts forth as novel ideas, and changes things in a way that is out of your control. This is life happening. Free fall into it. The oracle of the shock of the new comes to you saying, the old way is on its way out. You are being invited, dragged, nurtured, and coerced into the new. You can handle it. This oracle brings you guidance. You are about to encounter something new and different in your life. This is helpful. Don't reject it. No matter how small or insignificant, or how powerful and life-changing it may seem to be. You are being asked to dispense with your reliance on the past and what have been your tools to navigate life. You have outgrown your old methods. You will have to fly by the seat of your pants, so to speak. As you experiment with new ways to be, life will show you the way. And all of these come with a healing process. So here's the healing process for this card. If you can, allow yourself to feel as though you are becoming soft and gentle in your mind, heart, and body. Breathe easily. Relax. Imagine the strangest and most beautiful creature you can. Bring it to life with color and texture. Envisage the eyes, the body, the wings, the fur, the feathers. How bizarre can you get? What are its qualities, powers, and characteristics? Be playful with the process. If you find it difficult to visualize, you may like to write a description of your strange and beautiful creature, or simply imagine what it would feel like. Does it have soft fur, sharp claws, feathery wings made of crackling, fizzing electrical currents, or sensitive furry antennae with delicate eyes on the tips? Or is it a strange flower that speaks, a tree that grows upside down? Whatever comes to you is just what is needed. Trust in your imagination, as subtle or as wild as it is, and let it speak to you. After you have played with your imaginings for a few moments, complete your healing process with this declaration of intention. Imagine or intend that you are sending it out into the far recesses of the universe. I am supported through the shock of the new. I accept the beauty in all that is foreign or strange to me, as I know it is bringing me new gifts, wisdom, life experiences, and creative inspiration. Through unconditional love, so be it. That is beautiful and perfectly sums up the energies. So take that moving forward with the new moon on Monday and whatever is stirring, especially if it's anything like what was described in the card. Dare to be different, trust your intuition, trust your imagination, and be bold. That electric fizzing definitely is what I was referring to as far as the energy associated with Uranus. And that coming up at this time with Mars and Uranus being in the dance that they're in right now. That only happens every couple years, and the Sun and Uranus only oppose each other once a year. So this is a really unique opportunity in the energies and the cosmic energies because they're supporting this, whatever that card meant for you. The cosmos are on your side for sure. So take that all moving into Monday. Like I said, the new moon will be 4:38 a.m. here on the East Coast. So definitely check that timing if you're not in Eastern time. And yeah, what a beautiful invitation. And starting this in that energy feels really good to me, even though it was definitely like I got kicked out of my own comfort zone. So here I am. And with Scorpio and Taurus energy, we're talking about two of the fixed signs. So change is a little bit difficult if you have that energy in your chart and in your makeup. So be gentle with yourself, but also give yourself that nudge that you may need. It's, change is a little bit hard at times, especially with those energies, but it's shifting. We're moving into a different season soon. We're going into winter here in the Northern Hemisphere. So it's definitely time to nurture and sit with the darkness as our nights have grown way longer here. And those parts in yourself too, and really pay attention to your dreams. I had some very interesting dreams last night. I actually woke up and asked my husband if I told him something already or if I told him in my dream last night. And I had told him in the dream and he had no idea what I was talking about. So that kind of stuff too, definitely pay attention. I had a lot of old friends come to visit me during my dreams last night, like people I haven't spoken to or seen or anything in many years. So that was really curious, but it was all just like this overjoyed experience of hugs and conversations. And yeah, there's definitely dreamscape stuff happening as well. And if that's happening for you, it's definitely part of the energy that we're in for sure. So yeah, we'll be back with you all again on Tuesday for our Tuesday live. And I'm going to wrap it there, I think. And I also just wanted to mention that today is Veterans Day. We hold you all in our hearts. I hold you all in my heart on this day, whatever this day means for you. Just know that we're all sending love from myself and from the Sea Goddess team. Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.